So let's animate text, a word. Okay, in order to type a word, you need to go toolbar. The long, vertical, toolbars in Photoshop and Illustrators. After Effects has a very small number of tools. I mean, compared to Photoshop, we have a limited actual number of tools, but we don't need that many tools anyway. In order to type some, word, you need to select this one type tool and click right here, your composition, and you can type something here. Right. So after that, you can click this selection tool and you can move around. Also, you can change your scale, and you can change color. And then you can change the style, of course, font, style, and this is scale. And what else you can do? This is what? This is leading, and this is tracking. Yeah, see, what does tracking? See, this is tracking. Yeah. Italic, bold. Yeah. You can find all those options under character, panel character. So in case you don't see this character, you go to window and then select this character. Okay. Let's make this one a little bit bigger. When you animate this text, okay, we're basically creating moving text. The first thing that you may consider are this transform. There are actually the anchor point is actually slightly different on one from other four. Basically, position and scale and the rotation opacity. So you're gonna use four. I mean, except for this anchor point, very frequently while animating your text. So sometimes we don't open this transform, just close this, and even you can close everything so that you can keep all your layers simple, neater, simpler and neater. So this is one layer. So right now we just typed one in a word. Just hit P. If like a move, like imagine if like the move from point A to point B, like point A, point B, okay, from here to here, or from here to here. So you need to move. Okay, you need to move this type from point A to point B, or point C, point D, like this. So we are about animating this word and a type by changing position value. Okay, click this layer and type and hit P, and then you will see position only right here, position. Okay, I'm gonna move this guy from here to here. Makes sense? Okay, from here to here. All right, so place like this. If any of you prefers to use the grid to do more accurate, more professional, way while animating your text, you may use this one, grid, show grid. Say this is grid. If you don't need this, you can always go to view and then deselect all. All right, so we have position here, and do you know what that is? Minus 9.7 and 336.2. These are the information, the position information of this type. So if you change this one number, you see that it's moving. That means this is X and this is Y. X and Y. Okay, After Effects has Z-axis as X, Y, Z-axis. But at this moment, we're going to deal with only two axes, X and Y. Vertical, horizontal, and vertical. This is axis, this is Y-axis. Look at this. This is Y-axis. This is how you can animate this text by changing this position, information. So we can move this one. I'm going to put this word upper left corner, and then click. Do you know what that is? This is stopwatch. Stopwatch. You need to click on this stopwatch to create what? So, okay, let me repeat this. We are about animating this guy, the word. I mean, consists of four letters, right? From here to here. Can you imagine? Like during 1 second. Yeah, for example, 1 second. During 1 second, you want to see animate in the text. These guys will move from point A to point B. And I already opened position. Of course, we need to change the position in order to see animate text stopwatch, right? You need to click dash. Okay, it turned to in blue. And where is our keyframe, by the way? Right here. I think that's the wrong position. Actually, you can delete, if you like to delete this, you can always highlight it, delete it, and then we can move this. This is called like a playhead. This is playhead. You need to drag left and right, left and right. So what if you like to place this guy at the beginning? You can drag it, manually drag it like this, or you can use actually Fn and then left arrow. Fn, hold down Fn, right arrow. See, it goes to the end. Fn, hold down Fn and the left arrow. All right. So I'm gonna click that, the stopwatch one more time. Okay. This is keyframe. You see that the diamond, icon here. Even you can double click on this and to find out the exact information of this position, the position info of this word. All right. Again, in order to see moving text on animation, okay, an animate element, you need to provide some time. You need to create some time. Okay. Without time, you won't see any animation. Film animation always dealing with the time, tempo, speed. But graphic design pieces like logo design, brochure design, post design, no, we don't deal with any time elements. But this is motion graphics, okay? Animate text, type in motion. So we need to create some time. So this is the very beginning. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move this guy from here to here like this. So like you wanna move something like this, or you wanna move something like this. Almost slow motion. How many frames you probably need? How many frames do we need to make 1 second? You are making about a 10-second long motion graphic, project. Do we need 1 second? Do we need 2 seconds? 10 seconds? 5 seconds? Or do we need just 10 frames or 5 frames? It really depends. Okay. So like for instance, if you like to move something like this, probably you need about 30 frames, about 29 frames, 97, which is equivalent to 1 second long. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place it like this, and with 1 second, you can drag it, this playhead to the right and find that 1 second or 1 second and 15 frame and 2 seconds, or it's sometimes it's really hard to. So for instance, if you like to place that, if you like to create the second keyframe for this word at the 1 second, exactly 1 second, exactly 1 second and 15 frames, exactly 2 seconds. Sometimes really hard because all this very, very tiny Taylor. What I suggest you guys is rather than dragging this playhead left and right to find the right place, right position, use this. This is very easy. So let's say you want to create the second keyframe of this, okay, this type, or this word. You got type 100. That's 1 second. So you don't have to drag this. So what if you like to go to 1 second and 15 frames? Type 115 and the return. So that's exactly, now this playhead has been placed at exactly 1 second and 15 seconds. So, and then as you can see, we already created the initial keyframe at 0 at the beginning, and we are about making the second keyframe on the 1 second and 15 frame. So how to create a new keyframe? You need more than one keyframe to make an animate text. So we already create a keyframe there. So we are going to create a second keyframe on the 115. All right, so you need to click right here, not the stopwatch. Do you see the hollow diamond here? What is this, by the way? Add or remove a keyframe at current time, current frame. So do you see, now we have 2 keyframes there. Okay, let's just highlight only this so that we don't have to play entire of this, 15-second long timeline. Okay, let's preview this one. I'm gonna hit the what key? Spacebar. Nothing happens. Do you know why? We don't see you don't see an animation here, even though we have created 2 keyframes.
You changed the position.
Exactly, yeah. So let me open this one. Do you see the position here? Wow, lots of number here. But let me double click on this second keyframe. You see that? Both keyframes are exactly in the same. That's why we don't see any animation. So let's say you go to second keyframe. Again, this is very useful tip. Okay, let me zoom in this. This is very useful tip. You can you can click and double click and open the position information. You can find the position information of the second keyframe here. But sometimes you need to drag this playhead and place your playhead on the top of the second keyframe, third keyframe, or first keyframe like that. But it's hard. It's really hard to sometimes select the keyframe by dragging and place the top of this keyframe. My suggestion is, rather than dragging this playhead, use this both arrow. So if you click on this left arrow, this playhead will be placed on top of this first keyframe, the previous keyframe, and more precisely speaking, previous keyframe. But if you click this one, it goes, the playhead will go to next keyframe. So look at this. If I click this, previous keyframe. If I click this, next keyframe. So just click left, previous, and this is the next one. So now we are on our second keyframe, and the position is X and Y. Do you see? I'm going to change the number. Okay. Also, something you should not do it. Don't drag it like this. Okay. It's not going to be perfect if you like to drag this straight line here. Don't do it manually. Use this number instead. All right, let's preview this. Okay, this is the animation. How? This is 1 second and 15 frame. So if you feel like this is too slow or too fast, you can adjust the time, speed. How to? So in between two keyframes, as you can see, you should notice that the animation occurs in between two keyframes, in between more than two keyframes. And the animation does not occur in between keyframe and no keyframe. See, there is no keyframe after this. See, no keyframe. This is the last keyframe in this animation. So you won't see any animation after this. If you still like to see some animation, you need to add additional keyframe after second keyframe. Animation, remember, animation occurs only between two keyframes, one keyframe and two keyframe. Again, the speed. So if you like to adjust the speed, you can just grab this, okay? Rather than drag, you can drag it left and right like this, but I suggest like this. Okay, so this is 1 second and 15 frames animation. Like for instance, you want to make 1 second, just 1 second long animation with this type, this word. You go right here and type 100, or not 1000, say this is 1, say this is 1 second, and then grab this. After that, okay, 1 second first. So our playhead has been placed at 1 second, and then grab your second keyframe, and then drag like that. And you should feel kind of snap. So it was snap. Okay, it was snap top of this playhead. This is exactly 1 second long. Let's preview this. Still too slow. Yeah. So let's go like a 15 frame, 1.5. So right here, and then we can drag this one. Okay, watch this. So you want to make it even faster. Let's go with just 5 frames. Just type 5. Go back. It was like this, 1 second or 15 frames. It was like this. Okay, guys, timing is very important. You can say it as tempo, rhythm. And there are pretty much everything about animation. Basically, animation is all about the tempo and the speed and the rhythm. So, and then you might wonder, can you imagine this guy goes down? As soon as this guy reaches on the ground and bounces back and goes back to the original position. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to just 30 frames. Okay, it's right here. That's about 1 second, right? At exactly 1 second. And I'm gonna go to, or you can drag it like this, or I'm gonna go to 115 again, 1 second and 15 frames, right? So first keyframe and second keyframe. So we are about creating our third keyframe at where? 1 second and 15 frame, right here. Right here. All right. What if you like to bring this guy back to the original position where, I mean, he actually started moving right here. Sometimes what we can do, just copy this one, copy. You can do manually, but of course it's gonna take some time. So what I do, just go here, because I'm gonna bring this guy back to where he used to be, and just highlight this and Command C, and we already went to 1 second 15 frame, right? So it's easier. So copy and paste, Command and V. All right, so we 1, 2, 3 keyframe. Watch this. Okay. Okay, someone might wonder, June. Okay, this is okay. This guy goes down to the ground and he's gonna hit the ground here. What I like to do, I like to see this guy stay there. Don't move. Do not move. Stay there for a while, like 1 second, before he jumps to the original position. What you can do, you can copy this one, the second keyframe, right? Copy, Command C, and then let's go. That's 1 second, 1 second and 10 frame. I'm gonna paste this one. So what's this? So now he's gonna stay. This keyframe and these keyframes are identical, twins, exactly in the same. So watch this. Very subtle, not exactly subtle, but there's a small difference in make your animation very, very different. So what if you like to see this guy stay here, the same position, stay a little longer? That's very easy too. Just grab this 2 keyframe and move to the right. So is he one move in between this keyframe, I mean this keyframe, second keyframe and the other keyframe. He won't move at all. So look at this. So far, we have used position only. Also, the hotkey for the rotation is all rows. Once you hit, okay, select this layer and hit all, you should see rotation. Yeah. See, as the world in a rotation implies, you can rotate it. You can rotate with text. You can rotate counterclockwise. You can rotate clockwise. Right. So let's rotate this. Let me get rid of this. You can move, you can rotate, you can change the opacity, and you can change the scale. Right. Again, if you go to transform, say, you can change the position. You can change your scale, and you can change the rotation, and you can change the opacity while animating. You can mix, you can mix all of this, or you can just use 1 or 2, or just use only 1. So again, these are in terms of the basic of the basics. In addition to these 4, okay, there are a couple hundred different types of options you might explore if you're interested in. All right, so select this type and the all rotation. So this is original rotation by you. Okay. Let's say you want to rotate this. Okay, you want to rotate this. So we animate this word by rotating this one. We understand how to rotate this. You can drag this number, okay, something like this. But this rotation occurs from kind of really awkward position, as you can see. So if you like to animate this was something like this. I'm actually nothing wrong with this. Maybe
that's how you're rotating, because it depends on what echo point you use.
Yeah, depends. So you want to rotate like this, yeah. On purpose. I mean, you can intentionally rotate it something like this. But if you like to rotate this text from the center, you need to use this one. You know what it is? Pen behind tool. And then you will be able to move this anchor point anywhere. Say, let's say I'm going to place somewhere here. In this case, I'm going to use the show grid. All right, so place center. Okay, not too precise. And then the rotation will occur something like this. So again, it really depends on what types of animation you make. You want to rotate the word? I don't know. It depends on what kind of word, what kind of text, your sentences. You want to rotate it from the center and use the pen behind tool. Same thing. So what if we move the anchor point somewhere here? Okay, what's this? So animation will go something like this. Yeah. Again, if you like to place the center pen behind tool and rotate it. All right. So let's animate this world by changing in a rotation in a degree, rotation value. Okay, make sure that our playhead is at 0. And I'm gonna click on the stopwatch, okay? And then I'm gonna go to 1 second, 1, 0, 0. Okay, it's exactly 1 second. And then degree, I'm gonna change it 180. Okay, let's preview this. That's exactly 180 degree. What if you like to change it more than 180 degree? Double click on this. This second keyframe, and like for instance, you type it 300 instead of 180. So what about 360, 360? So what if you like to see not just once, you like to see several times? I'm rotating. You see that number here, like what if you type 5 instead of 0? Oh, not this. Yeah, I think we need to double click this. Yep. So over here, so revolution. Simply type 5. 5 times. Probably too much. Twice. Okay. So we're going to talk about motion blur in depth later. But if you like to add some blur effect, motion blur effect, you've seen many times while watching some animation and the movie and the films and the TV commercial. Actually, if you go right there, so you'll see some empty boxes. This one is motion blur. So just click once and you will see motion blur effects right there. And kind of mimic the real world. Kind of a little exaggerated, see? There's just motion blur. Otherwise, you can turn this off. All right, so we animate this world by changing rotation. I'm gonna create another one somewhere here. And the new keyframe. And this is a minus negative 36. Preview this. All right. Also, okay, we're gonna keep this rotation. We have a 1, 2, 3 keyframe scale. Hit S, and you find the scale there. All right, so this time we already animated, okay, this world by changing rotation, and this time I'm gonna mix this one, rotation plus something else, scale, which is scale. Okay, I'm gonna click on this. Okay, playhead at 0. I'm gonna click on the scale over here, and this is new keyframe there. And I'm gonna keep the original scale, which is 100% until, let's say 1 second. All right. Okay, and then I'm gonna click not this. You need to click this. Okay, this keyframe and these keyframes are the same, exactly same. How do you know? No scale. Okay, no scale changes occur in between this keyframe, because both keyframes are the same. Okay, so still I'm gonna change the scale from here and then go to 115, 115. All right, and then go right here. Do you see 100%, 100%? That's the original size. And I'm gonna change the scale. Just simply type for like 500. Wow, that's huge. Even make it even bigger. Something I like this. Okay, I like this. Something like this. All right. So 1, 2, 3 keyframe. Let's preview this. Do you see this? Okay. This is probably huge. Yeah. Let's go. 1800. Okay. That's 1800. And then this one is 100. 1800%. And this is 100%. Okay, I'm gonna copy this one and go to 2 seconds and paste it. Okay, how many keyframes we have created so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, same thing. So after this, So from 1800 to 100, that's the original size. And then if you like to see this word stay there without any kind of the movement or changing scale or changing colors, whatever. If you like to see this word as it is, and for a while, I'm gonna go like 3 seconds there, copy this, and then paste it. Okay, let's preview this. Do you see? All right, let's add one more, which is opacity. The hotkey for opacity is a T. I don't know why they use T instead of O. I think you should ask people in Adobe. I think T is transparency. That means that indicates in transparency. But in here, in After Effects, they use opacity instead of transparency. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on stopwatch to create initial keyframe, not at the beginning or someplace else, but at the end of this animation. I like to just extend this animation a little longer, in which I like to add some fading out effect after this. End of animation, I like to create some fading out effect. So opacity 100%, transparency 100%, and then I'm gonna go to 3 seconds. Oh, wait a second. That was a scale, right? Okay, 3 seconds. We already made the animation until 3 seconds long, and then I think we expand a little bit more. Let's go 3 seconds and 20 frames, and hit T, and to change this opacity value 0. So with opacity value 0, you won't see nothing. Invisible. So look at this. Preview now. Rotation, scale, and the opacity.